Alright, everybody. Welcome to one of the balls-out weirdest parts of Ryuga Gotoku 5. This extended dream sequence where, while Saejima is in prison, he's actually bombing around the streets of Tsukimino, the city that he eventually goes to. Well, the district of Sapporo that he eventually goes to. Yep, since he doesn't know Sapporo all that well, like, I don't think he's ever been there. What's going on is that one of his cellmates, Himura, is just talking about his exploits, so what he did in there, and Saejima's doing the best he can to picture himself actually doing those deeds. Hence, we're in this weird purple-tinged dreamscape. Anyways, Saejima thinks to himself, like, oh, this is Tsukimino? And Himura was like, yeah! Himura was like his cellmate that's guiding him through that. He's a ghost guy sent to the left. He's just like, yeah, it's got a good feeling, don't it? Then Saejima's just like, well, you know, I haven't been there, and based on the map alone, like, this is the best that I can do. But, you know, Himura's actually been around Tsukimino, so he's gonna just talk about his stories, and Saejima's gonna do the best to picture it in his head. And I don't know why, but Saejima decides, like, well, okay, I'll go along with it. Yeah, it's okay. Like, just go ahead. Anyways, the first stop that they're gonna do of the story that Himura is telling is a trip to the Hostess Club. And he just tells us where it's at, and we're gonna head over there now. However, you know, Saejima's still decked out in his prison clothes, and you can't go to a Hostess Club dressed like that, man. Like, what the hell? So, goes back to his old image. Since Himura is telling him this stuff, like, I don't know how Himura knew what he looked like before, but we'll just go with it. You're going to have to throw your logic to the side for most of this. Like, there's part of it where you're just going to be like, what the hell? But if you try to think about it too hard, your brain will explode. Well, let's go there. Oh, good. I'm glad that we're in the middle of our daydream and there's still pedestrians to walk into. That's classy. That's classic. And here we are. Yeah, it's this shop. Good atmosphere, doesn't it? It has a good atmosphere, doesn't it, Saejima? Like, how can he tell? He's just looking at a map. But anyways, yeah. And Saejima's just like, wow, this place seems really expensive, man. Like, could we really party it up here? And Himura's just like, hey, well, I kind of left this out, but you know, at that time, I had 10 million yen in my pocket. Yeah, 10 million yen. That's like close to $100,000. He's walking around with he's walking over 100 grand in his pocket. Like, Jesus Christ. And Saejima's just like, well, that's got the makings of a good story, man. But is it really true? Yeah, it's true, man. Like, I might not look like it now, but back when I was in the outside world, I was a high roller, man. But anyways, yeah, just picture yourself having 10 million yen in your pocket. And he actually has to do it. He has to think about it. He has to think about having 10 million grand. 10 million grand, whoa, that's a lot. 10 million yen. And yeah, now he has it in his pocket, and we have it in the game. Not that we can do much with it, because we're stuck on the rails of the story that Himura is trying to tell us. Anyways, fresh with lots of money, we entered into... Well, I entered into the Hostess Club. Like, oh, welcome to Rose Hip. And now he's just running on the cost, you know, the cost of, like, the set price, the lowest set price, what service charge, and, like, actually choosing a girl. Yeah, this stuff is actually kind of expensive, but apparently we have 10 million yen in our pocket, so who the hell cares, right? Anyways, Ghost Himura says, like, yeah, man, I'm loaded. I want the best girl you got here, the most popular one. Guy's like, okay. And then Himura's just narrating, like, and this is how I came to choose Kaguya, the most popular girl in the Hostess Club. Whoa, boy, boy, boy. Sounds like a perfect match for Saejima then. Damn. And this is the most weirdest way the game could introduce this, but this is actually like a nice little sample of the Hostess Club missions, Hostess Club activities that you can do. I'm not going to describe what a Hostess Club is, because I'm pretty sure anybody watching this video knows already, but anyways. Things have changed a lot this time. You know, conversation kind of flows differently. You can actually take the lead in conversation at some points. But yeah, deals with the standard, and she's like, well, what do you want to drink? And pff, I'm loaded. I'm going to get a champagne tower. I don't care about $10,000. She's like, hey, I want this, man. He's like, is this okay? Saejima, you're magnificent! And yeah, her affection leader just maxed out because of that, so I guess we don't have to worry about making stupid choices in conversation. Which is good, because I'm just going to be walking through a run-through that I did before, sight unseen without a guide. And yeah, since I suck, I made a bunch of stupid choices, so... Oh, look at all that, man. Yeah, I bought that for you, baby. What, only get one glass? This is bullshit. So where are you from, Saejima? I'm from Tokyo. Are you here on work? And you can say no, or you can answer yes. And I said no. Yeah. Oh, no, I'm not here at work. I just came here of my own free will, man. Oh, that's great. I wish I could just go up and go on a trip like that. Well, I wouldn't exactly call it a trip, but... Yeah, one time I went to Karaoke on work. Really? You were working at a hostess club? Yeah, I made a fair bit of money. And you can say like, well, why'd you come back? Or, wow, well done. And when I did it, I said, oh, well, why'd you come back? So. So why'd you come back? Is it better here or something? Nope, it was originally my intention to only work 3 months there and then come back. And you can ask like, oh, you just wanted to come home, or, wow, that's a short amount of time. I said short amount. So, where'd you stay when you were in Karaoke? Oh, I stayed at a friend's place. She went to Tokyo ahead of me, and I just crashed at her place, man. Wow, it's great to have friends, isn't it? So, Saejima, do you think you could ever do something like I did? And you could say, like, wow, no, that doesn't really fit my character with the left one, or, yeah, sounds like fun with the right one. And of course, like, yeah, sounds like fun. You kind of want to play along with the hostesses. In some parts, other parts you don't. That's part of the game, really, just figuring out what you're supposed to do. But anyways, yeah, that sounds great. Just wandering around, finding jobs from place to place. It sounds awesome. And yeah, she's just like, she liked that answer. She's just like, yeah, that really fits you, man. I'm sure you'd get along great with the locals anywhere you went. Well, yeah, Saejima. Yeah, he looks like a friendly guy. So, after you've done a few conversation points, like that's the way topic goes. I didn't really mention it in the conversation there, but in previous games when you're doing a conversation, you know, it would get to a point where she'd ask you a question, and then you'd answer, and then she'd react based on your answer, but then the conversation would go on normally, like, no matter what. Here it's different. Like, here, like, it'll actually flow different depending on what you say. This is kind of a pain if you like to play these by trial and error and find the best ways to go that way. But I guess it kind of keeps you honest and just be like, well, I don't have time to run through everything, so fuck it. I'm just gonna I'm just gonna do the best that I can. Or you can do like I do when I'm actually playing this normally and use a guide, but yeah. Anyways, Himura was saying like, oh well, just letting the woman talk all the time, that makes for, she'll think you're a boring guy, man. So what should I do? Okay, well, you could try to change the topic, you can order something. How about trying that? But first, you gotta ask out on a date afterwards, man. What? That's a big hurdle to jump over right away. What are you talking about, man? Go ahead, attack! Okay, whatever, I'll give it a shot. And here's the menu that you go. When you have the breaks, here you can change the topic, you can ask a personal question, you can add something on your order, give her a present, invite her out on a date afterwards, and okay. We're going to be studs. We're going to invite her on a date, even though we just met her. But I guess we did spend a lot of money on the champagne tower, so that should be impressive. It's a dream anyway, so who cares? How's about a date afterwards, baby? Oh, really? Yeah, I want to spend some more time with you, man. Really? He's got a big shit-eating grin on his face. Oh, so were you born in Tokyo? Oh, and I forgot to show you this little feature. Yeah, all the conversations take place first person view. They're all voice and whatnot. But if you use the left stick, you can look around at things. Yeah, at things. And they don't really get mad no matter where you're looking. Like, you could keep the camera down here the entire time and just talk like that. And yeah. But I wouldn't do that. That's really kind of sleazy. Oh. Anyways, yeah, she's just like, oh, well, you probably weren't born in Tokyo. Did I fuck that up before? But yeah, whatever. Oh, yeah, I was born in Kansai. Yeah, it's really easy to understand if a person's from Kansai the second they talk. So, where were you born? Born and raised in Hokkaido. And the top one there, that's a weird kind of idiom. Like, that means, like, literally a horse raised in Hokkaido. So, yeah, you're like, you're a Hokkaido-bred horse, huh? Or the left one, or the right one is just, oh, where were you born in Hokkaido? And if you do the top one, it's actually good. You actually raise points that way. That's one thing you'll find out when you're talking to the cabaret, the hostesses, is that sometimes it's good to be flippant, other times it's not. And this time it's good. But I tend to play it safe when I did my run through, so I just went with the right one here. Like, where in Hokkaido? In Sapporo. Really? But you've got no accent. Is it because of the time you spent in Tokyo? Nope, I've always been like this ever since I was a kid. That's what they say about kids raised in Hokkaido nowadays. They don't got an accent. And you can go off the left and like, oh, that's a lie. Or right with like, oh, really? And again, if you go off the left one there, it's actually kind of good because she like laughs and then she likes you better. But since I play it safe, yeah, I'm not much of a styling guide in real life, as you can probably well guess. But anyways, yeah, I just went with Ho. I just got to find my place in there. Oh, really? And yeah, I guess that's true, because the guys that I've known from Hokkaido, they don't got an accent either. Well, it's because we watch a lot of TV based out of Tokyo nowadays, and we hear a lot of the standard dialect. You know, my grandfather and grandmother, they've still got the dialect, but my father and mother don't. Oh, but Hokkaido's a big place. It's probably just a case in Sapporo, right? And actually kind of is, because they say the Sapporo dialect is pretty damn close to standard Japanese, but yeah. Yeah, probably. Yeah, I don't really know the dialect all that well, though. Oh no, he's asking... No, okay. Yeah, he said like, oh, you probably don't know the dialect then, like, because you were raised on standard Japanese practically. She's like, well, it's not like I know about and don't know about it. Like, I know a lot of the words, but I don't really use them. And the left one there is like, oh, that's boring. And the right is like, really? And why would you say, like, oh, that's boring? Like, yeah, that's not the way to go. So, yeah, we're just going to go really. So good. Yeah, times have changed, I guess. Then she goes on to tell you, like, people in Tohoku, the prefecture that's to the south of Hokkaido there, like, you can really tell they got an accent. But that's the thing there. She used this word mesa in there, and that's actually kind of dialectical. So you can call her out on it with the top one, or you can just go certainly with the right one. But, yeah, calling her out is good, because she'll be like, oh, you're so silly, you're right. Or you can just go certainly and be boring. And I was boring, so. She's like, yeah, you can understand if a person from Tohoku the second they talk. It's because of their intonation, man. And then she's just like, yeah, you could probably pick out things really well because you got a pretty strong accent yourself. This is where Saejima totally drops the frickin' ball. And he's just like, you idiot. Like, Kansai Ben, the dialect that I speak, isn't like a dialect because, you know, back in the old days, it was the center of Japan. Like, and that, because of that, like, Kansai Ben's actually the correct Japanese. Good job, dipshit. She's like, what kind of theory is that, idiot? And then Himura is just giving us the goal. He's like, hey, try out a bunch of things, man. Let's try something out. And let's change the topic. Shaju. I talk about the Snow Festival. Talk about Hokkaido. Or you can talk about how there's lots of big breasts nowadays. I don't know why you would choose that, honestly, unless you're like the biggest stud, which Saejima, biggest stud, smoothest charmer, which Saejima obviously is not. But here we go, naked into the brink. So yeah. Anyways, women here, it seems like they got big boobs. She's like, oh, really? Hey, wow, she kind of like that. Oh, we'll do that one. I'm not mistaken at all. You walk along the streets, a big percentage of the ladies have big boobs. And she kind of pokes fun and she's like, well, obviously you'd be checking that stuff out, wouldn't you, dude? Yeah, nobody's ever talked to me about this before, but I always thought it was kind of my imagination. And the left one was like, oh, you never really noticed, right? And the right one is like, oh, imagination. And we'll just say, oh, you never really noticed, right? Oh, you just never really noticed. It's obvious to everybody, isn't it? Oops, that was a mistake. Of course that isn't the case. Like, you gotta know stuff like bra size and things like that. Oh, I guess. And of course, you know, like, I'm not small myself. So, yeah, it's not like it's the case for me. Then Saejima's like, changes the topics like, oh, so why do you think they're becoming so big nowadays? Why? Just naturally? Yes. Okay, the top one is, oh, it's because you're drinking milk. The right one is hereditary. And the left one is because, oh, it's because they're being rubbed, right? And much to your contrary to what your expectations, the right answers are they being rubbed and hereditary. Like, if you said that, like, wouldn't she just think you're the biggest idiot ever? But, anyways, I chose, oh, it's because they drink milk, right? Because apparently I'm the biggest idiot ever. And he's just like, well, it's because they drink milk in Hokkaido. Like, it's famous for its milk, isn't it? He's like, what kind of thought is that? If that was the case, we'd all have big, huge boobs. So I'm wrong?
うちのお店にも胸小さい子いますし、あんまりそういうこと言わない方がいいと思いますよ。
すまん。
And he's kind of like, he's like, oh, okay, sorry.
冴島さんはお化けとか幽霊。
And here's the last topic that we're gonna do, which is good because it's long, but anyways. Saejima, do you believe in ghosts? Like, oh, that's stupid, or I've seen one, or yes. And you go, yes. Yeah, of course, I think they're there.
あのね、私そういうのがダメなの。
Everybody's told me that it's impossible. Oh, I think it's kind of cute.
私子供の頃から怪談とか。
Yeah, I've always been lousy at hearing ghost stories. Every time I heard one, I'd lie in bed shaking. I wouldn't be able to turn off the light, couldn't sleep.
昨日たまたまテレビをつけたら心霊。
And yesterday, when I turned on the I turned on the television, I stumbled upon a ghost show by chance. And because of that, I didn't get enough sleep last night. And your options are like, oh, you worry too much. And like, it'd be better if there were ghosts and stuff like that. And the right one is like, what are you so scared about? And the good answer is to say, I wish there was ghosts.
いや。
どうしてですか？
It's like, what? Why? Well, you know, if there are ghosts and stuff like that, that means that even if you died, you didn't have to cross over to the other side, you know? And because of that, you'd be able to hang out and have lots of fun in the world still. And yeah, she's like, oh, that's interesting. If you became a ghost, I'd be in big trouble, wouldn't I? He's like, yeah, I'd be implacable. I'd be relentless. I'll go to flirting. Anyways, we're done. Let's, we can take the time if we want, but, no, that's... Don't make the video like friggin' 3 hours long, so I'm not gonna do that.
かしこまりました。
And that's our big-ass bill.
冴島さん。じゃあまた後でね。
She's just like, oh, see you later, okay, big boy? Oh, yeah. And as you can tell, yeah, you rank up. That's how you get to, like, the sub-stories involving these women. I can't remember if this transfers over to the actual game. If it does, that's freaking stupid, but it might. Like, this whole thing is dumb to begin with. Like, the thing about that entire time there, like, that would have had to have been just Saejima talking to Himura pretending to be the hostess. Like, that's kind of creepy. Oh, I leveled up, yeah. Anyways, Saejima-san, I kept you waiting. Where do you want to go? He's like, well, I don't really know Tsukimino all that well. And Himura gives advice like, hey, let's do karaoke. If you're on a date, it's got to be karaoke, right? He's like, oh, okay. How about karaoke? Oh, I haven't been a lot, so I haven't been there recently, so that's great. Yeah, let's roll. Yeah, it's kind of makes me wish that I didn't include the karaoke section in my other video of him bombing around Karaoke, but you know, I'm pretty sure there's a lot more people who's gonna watch this video because it's more than likely gonna end up with like a girl with nice boobs on the on the thumbnail. So yeah, whatever. Yeah, let's talk about karaoke. We know how to do that. And she has chosen to sing Rouge of Love. There's high comedy in this, as you will find out soon. In fact, I might just shut up and let you enjoy Saejima's backing vocals. Yeah, I can just imagine before they got the voice actor to do this part in the studio, they're just like, here, we got a bottle of vodka, just slam this before you start to do your lines, man. Oh yeah, and they actually will do dances in the background now to support the hostess that they're backing up. You better hope that she doesn't turn around Saejima and see you doing this shit, man.
Everybody say luge of love. La 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 luge of love.
La 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 la, luge of love. Yeah, not bad, eh? Especially since considering I can't hear the song because I have the volume muted, so it doesn't bleed over into the microphone.
歌聞かせてくださいよ。
Yeah, I'll sing for you, baby. I'll sing for you and fantasize about Sutachi at the same time, because that's the way I roll. Top rank. Take that, King Kazunoko.
ずっと聞いていたいくらい。
You were great. Well, baby, there's just some things about you that inspire me, that's all. Perhaps you'll show me more about them later. Haha.
ありがとうございました。
Yep. And then Himura goes on like, yep, that's how I parted with the beautiful Kaguya after having a wonderful karaoke date with her. So how was that? Great images, huh? It's been a long time since I spoke with a woman. And even though it's a daydream, you know, it's good for my health. Really raised my spirits, man. Even though you probably were talking with Himura pretending to be a woman, but whatever. Anyways, then he goes on, he's like, in that time I was hungry. So pretend that you're hungry. Pretend. It's gonna be difficult, but I know you can do it. And Sajima's like, well, we're in prison. I haven't eaten anything good for a while. He's like, oh, there's tons of great places in Tsukimino. Got lots of them. Standard is, the Matsuo Genghis Khan. Yep, the Genghis Khan kind of hot pot there. Next is Gindako, highball bar. And if you got small stomach, you eat there. You eat takoyaki, order cocktails. And if you haven't had your fill of women, you can go to the Hanako bar, where hot waitresses in miniskirts will serve you. Anyways, where did I go? Well, whatever. We'll just go to any one of the places, whichever one strikes your fancy. And Gindaiko. Oh, no way. Saejima's still horny. He wants to go talk to hot women. To the left is the Genghis Khan place, which is funky kind of hot pot. Oh, hi. How's it going? See? Out of the way. I gotta talk to women. Oh, Hanako. Yeah, if you have enough of the Hostess Club, there's lots of beautiful women here, huh? Oh, hi. Mind loosen up a bit? You don't look comfortable at all. What are we going to have to drink? Sajima's a tea drinker. Let's just have some oolong. And let's just grab a bunch of tasty things. Fill up his health bar. Because he imagined himself hungry, so he's got to fill it up again. Oh, yeah. So, how was it, Saejima? You know, it's kind of weird. It was like I was really eating it, man. Yeah, it's great, isn't it? Good woman. Good meal. I really want to do this in real life as soon as possible. But the story's not over yet. With my stomach as full as it was and satisfied, here's where a problem developed. At this intersection, as I approached it, from all four directions, punks came charging at me. Oh, what the fuck? Hey, it's okay. Hey, never mind. It's part of the story. It's just like, yeah, think of all the punks. Yeah, just think of them, please. Well, okay, whatever, man. Like this? How's that? Anyway, what's this about? Oh, it's about Kaguya-chan. There's a guy who was really creepy about liking her, and he's the boss of this group. Ah, so he gathered all these guys together. Okay, well. Anyways, take him away from his weapons, like AKA his henchman. He's probably just a small guy. Hey, doofbag! What did you do to my Kaguya? Oh, like that? So, did this guy do this to all of Kaguya's customers? No, not at all. Of course not. It's just because I had such a great date with her. You sure you're not mistaken, dude? What? It's not like that at all. Anyways, yeah, I was in a fight for my life. But I let out a huge laugh at these assholes. What the fuck are you laughing about? Kill this guy! An angry boss. The rushing guards. And I quietly assumed my fighting stance and fought against these guys. Well, I guess if we're gonna think about having a fight, I'm gonna go for it, man. Well, let's give it a shot! Dream guys fly just as good as the ones in real life. And apparently I fall down on my ass as well as I do in real life. Oh, hi. Get over here. I freaking hate that. That's such a pansy move. I mean, I guess it's good for throwing a guy, like, and get him out of your hair for a bit, but at the same time, like, it does piddly all for damage, and you can only follow it up with, like, a really wimpy kick. Not like this, man. Hit the guy, damn it. Yeah, take that. You take this. You gotta wonder, like, a bunch of guys that were like, oh, so you want us to help beat up a guy who, like, went on a date with the hostess that you like? You know, she's a hostess, that's her job. How much you paying us? Okay, well, whatever. Oh man, I thought it'd be over with that guy. I think your boss is dead. You can go home now. Yeah, whatever. Oh, you're too strong. And this is how I protected my love with Kaguya. Oh god. Well, this put me in a great mood, man. So, after this, and the guard from outside says lights go out in 5 minutes. So, that means playtime is at an end. Darn, eh?